We are live. Welcome to the Women in Business Collective, where we talk with exceptional leaders about tackling the challenges that women face on their journey to the top. These are the things I've been helping women with for the last 18 years. I'm Susan Baroncini-Moe, and I love that this show gives me the opportunity to share the kinds of women that I work with every day. And just so you all know, today we're also joined by a special guest, Gus. I'm sorry, guys. He just sometimes likes to sleep in my lap during this show, and so we'll hope he stays asleep. All right, my guest today is Angela Finlay. Is it Angela Bloom Finlay or Angela Finlay?
Angela Finlay, it works
Angela
for
Finlay.
me.
Okay. I love hyphenated last names. Well, Angela is the Executive Vice President and Chief Human Resources Person at Dime Community Bank. She has over 20 years of progressive experience in small to global Fortune 150 companies, and she's active in the community, and she holds various board positions. Hi, Angela. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Well, tell us a little bit about where you are now, where you work, what you do.
So I head up HR for a bank that is undergoing quite a bit of transformation over the last 2 years. I left a position where I was in a large global Fortune 150 company and moved over to take a chance to build something that's my own and really be part of something that's, I think, a great organization as we grow and try to get competitive with regards to the work environment, as well as just the business environment, which is changing every day on us.
Very cool. Now, you actually have a really interesting story, and I think it's very timely that you're here because there was just this story in the news about this Japanese medical school that rigged their entrance exams, and that way they had fewer women applying. And I thought of you when I read about this because you have an interesting history of having worked in Japan. So what are some of the struggles that you've had on your way to where you are today?
It's an interesting thing. When I took the position with the Japanese company before, at the time, I was fortunate enough to have 3 offers, and I decided to go with the Japanese company. I thought the position was really interesting. I always pick jobs where I think I have the most challenge in going into it. And at the time, the number of people that came and said, "Why are you going to the Japanese?" was amazing to me. That they
So
just
why are you going to the
said,
Japanese?
Why would you do that? And at the time, I just said, I love the challenge. I love the challenge. You're telling me that when I go in, I'm going to have an uphill battle because I'm not Japanese and I'm female. And I see an opportunity where I can really go in and build something with a big scale and have some impact. Fantastic. Sign me up. And, I always attribute my success in life to a lot of things, but one of it's agility. I think the ability to just be able to go in and quickly figure out the situation, quickly be able to assess, okay, what's going on? How do I make this work? And then just adapt is a big part of it. And so I quickly figured out how to build relationships with cultures that are just so unlike me at the end of the day, and learn to listen to what they'd say and respect what they did. And then at the time, I ended up overseeing South America, which was also very different from my Midwestern background. And I just think the agility is key, especially when you get into these positions where you go, I'm not fully sure that I'm qualified for this, but I'm going to go in and I'm going to do what I can and build what I can from there.
How many languages do you speak?
Just a little bit of enough to get in trouble is usually what I would say. So I can do enough Spanish to get myself in trouble. I always say I don't know Japanese, but then some terms come out here and there. But I think it's listening and relationships. It's what it comes down to. And as long as we can come to some common understanding, I can at least talk to you in English, then I think I'm okay.
Yeah. So interesting. Well, all right, let's talk about what advice you have for other professional women.
I think my advice is really just know who you are as a person. And know what drives you, right? I know what drives me is a challenge, right? It's not the prestige, it's not title, it's not, money's great. I certainly like it in the bank account, but it's not the money. It's being told, here's something we need to do, here's something we need to fix, here's something we need to get accomplished, and that's what drives me. And I've always made sure that jobs and positions and things I've done have been built on that premise. When I came to Dime, there was an opportunity also to go to another large company. And I knew instinctively in my gut that if I went to that other company, it was more status quo. It sounded nice. It would be a really great name on the resume. But it probably wouldn't engage me. And I think for you to be really successful, for you to really grow and be where you should be in life, you have to really know what drives you and then be smart about picking things that will really play into that for you.
So interesting. Angela, where can people find you?
You can find me on LinkedIn, A Blum-Finlay or A Blum Finlay at LinkedIn. You can also find me at dime.com, where we have the opportunity sometimes to share some blogs and other things that we're doing here from the HR and just general organizational perspective.
Fantastic. We'll have those links in the show notes for today. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
All right, that's it for today, my friends. I'm Susan Baroncini-Moe. This has been the Women in Business Collective show. I do these shows weekdays at 10:30 or 9:30, depending on our guest schedule. You'll see it in the Facebook if you're finding us, the Facebook. If you think you might be a good guest for the show, or you know a woman who's successful in business and might be a good guest, send them over. Come to womeninbusinesscollective.com. It's a long URL, womeninbusinesscollective.com, to learn more about how you can apply. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.